The other day I was cruising through Reverb and I came across a Les Paul that was very interesting. So interesting that I said, I have to pick this up. We have to see what this is like. It was one of those things where I didn't know I was looking for it until I saw the listing, and then I knew we had to have it. Here's one of the weirdest guitars that I've ever found on Reverb, and a pretty cool Les Paul. Let's dig in. Here we have it. This is a pretty standard Gibson Les Paul standard from 2005. It was actually listed as being from 2001, but it's from 2005. But there's one thing that's pretty different here, and no, it's not the swap pickups. We'll get to that too. This has been refinished, and allegedly, this was actually refinished by the Gibson Custom Shop. So this is actually a Gibson Les Paul Standard Premium Plus with a AAA top that then had a black refinish over that. They did not sand down the old finish. All the gloss is still there. So this is quite glossy now. So to give a quick rundown on what's not stock on this guitar, as I said, there's been a refinish. The pickups have been swapped. There's actually been a refret here, which I can say has been done quite well. And I was a little bummed to see this was actually just missing the switch cover back there, which was not noted. There was definitely a few things that were a little different on this guitar than were listed, but being that it was listed for the price it was, I wasn't too concerned with it, so I just left it as is. I knew I was gonna mod this out further, so it kind of didn't matter to me. Yeah, you kind of never know what you're getting if you're not going through like a proper shop sometimes. Lots of great stuff you'll find from individuals, but sometimes they may not be as intentional with including all the specs and stuff in the listing. So is this still cool for what it is? And was this worth the purchase? Earlier in the year, we did a video checking out some Jimmy Wallace Strat pickups, which I ended up really enjoying. Put that video out. And then the next time I actually saw Jimmy Wallace at a guitar show, he's like, man, if you like the Strat pickups, check these out. These are the PAFs, and I do love PAF humbuckers, so this set was acquired. And since then, I've been waiting for the right guitar to drop those in. I have a few prospects from my personal collection that I thought about trying out, but some of my stuff, I'm like, I already like it how it is, so I didn't know if I wanted to mod it. This blonde beauty behind me was definitely a candidate, but these have nickel covers on them, so I would have had to either change all the hardware to that or change the covers, and I said, you know, I'm just gonna leave that one how it is. So I've been kind of, you know, keeping my eyes open for something cool. And this was kind of the perfect candidate because it was very not factory. It's not perfect. I mean, it's been refinned, it's been refret. This is the perfect candidate to, you know, try some different parts on and try out some pickups. So that worked out perfectly for this. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna take this apart, we're gonna clean it up, and we're gonna drop these Jimmy Wallace PAF pickups in it and try them out. The current pickups in here are a DiMarzio deactivator in the bridge, and then a Seymour Duncan, I believe, Aldridge neck pickup. Before we take this apart, let's plug it in and see what it sounds like now. I don't think the tone pot for the bridge is actually doing anything. I don't really like the neck pickup. It's very, it's a little muddy. We'll have to see what's going on with the wiring. Fortunately, we're going to be redoing that. But yeah, that's what it sounds like now. Oh, I don't mind the bridge at all. Breaks up quite nice. I think the idea with this guitar was to do what you would have had to do back before reissue Les Pauls came out, which is if you had a Sunburst Les Paul and you wanted a black one, not many factory black ones are made, so you'd probably just get your Sunburst Les Paul refinished in black. Over the years, the finish would wear through and you'd have obviously mostly black finish, but like you see here, the Sunburst would start peeking out, the flame would start coming out, which is really cool. The thing with this is they did the finish so thick here, the Sunburst doesn't come through that well, and I can tell that it's been clear coated over like here, so this is not really authentic wear, if you will. And then like you can see like on the back of the neck here, where there's some like, it's supposed to be thumb wear. This side, the wear actually feels like it goes through the finish, but this side, it's unnoticeable. It feels like there's just clear coat over it. Not a perfect job. I think this is a good time to say, as I noted before, they said that this refinish was done by the Gibson Custom Shop. I asked if they had any documentation and they said they don't, but it was from a Gibson employee and it checks out. So do I believe that? Yes, mostly. Now, do I think that somebody sent this to the Gibson Custom Shop and paid them full retail price to do this? No. I think what happened here is there's probably a Gibson employee guitar and they went to somebody and said, hey, we should try refinishing this and put just a gloss black finish, gloss ebony, over the original AAA flame that you would have had on here. Obviously they refinished the back and everything too, but I think their idea was, let's do that as a fun project. I think it was a success. I think it turned out cool, but I don't think that this was a situation where somebody probably paid for this. There's actually little imperfections in the finish here. Not to say I could do any better by any means, but the Gibson Custom Shop has very high standards. So there's a few little things here that I don't think would have gotten past, but overall, I mean, it's a great paint job and it has the right feel. It feels like a typical Gibson ebony finish like this. I was showing a friend of this guitar actually yesterday and he pointed out, Fender does a lot of these finish over finish, or maybe it's a sunburst guitar with Fiesta red over it. And as the Fiesta red wears, the sunburst comes through. It looks very cool. Similar vibe here. The thing is, when Fender does a finish like that, or Gibson does similar stuff as well, what they normally do is a pretty thin coat for the original finish, and then the second coat would also be pretty thin of that second color. Here, it's two full thickness coats, so it doesn't give the same effect as like a custom shop finish over finish. No, this is not going to be at the fit and finish level of a nice custom shop like that. You could make an argument this is actually more authentic. Like if you had a Sunburst Les Paul back in the day, before they were crazy collectible, and you decided you wanted to put a black finish over that, you probably would have ended up with something like this. But this is probably not going to wear very quickly because the finish is so thick. But let me know what you guys think down below on this guitar. Like I said, it's not perfect. It's more of like, for what I paid for this guitar, I think it's cool. I'll be able to go gig this and not feel bad about it at all, which is sick. But yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below in the comments. Now this is wired a little differently than I typically see Les Pauls wired, which is fine because I'm just gonna kind of redo it. But I think it's gonna be easier to almost start fresh here than to kind of pick up where they left off. Let's get to desoldering. So as listed, this is the DiMarzio deactivator in the bridge and then an all-bridge pickup for the neck. Now, this is pretty dirty, so we're gonna clean this up a bit. Anytime you start taking parts off a guitar is a great time to do some cleanup on it, as you'll have more access to like the whole finish. Can you see on the camera how like you can see the flame right there? While you're doing that, let me go around. It's basically just a glorified ad for Wallace pickups. Yeah. See, I actually thought of waiting to do this video until later in the year, for when we have some, or even early next year, whenever we have SK shows booked, and be like, I'm getting this guitar ready to go do shows with, and then you put in videos from the shows. This was not the finest solder job before, but we're making do. It's all here, so now that the guitar is ready, let's install the pickups. I always enjoy the packaging. We're nice enough to label. So these pickups are very accurate replicas of the iconic Gibson PAF pickups. They even have the sticker back there, so pretty cool. They have the braided wire as you would expect for the style pickup. And so far, so good. I'm really curious to see how they sound. We've confirmed that it is working as intended, so it's time to start getting this ready to put back together. I am going to replace the plate for the output jack, and then we'll plug it in and see what it sounds like. Gotta get the action right. Our pickup swap is complete and the guitar has also been much cleaned up. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying how it plays. I love the neck profile on this, but more importantly, pickup wise, this thing sounds fantastic. I definitely prefer these pickups to what was in here before. I really enjoy how these sound. They're kind of like a supercharged P90, but with no hum, which is kind of what you would want out of a PAF. So they definitely get my seal of approval. Absolutely love what's going on in the bridge. The neck is really cool too, especially when you start adding some distortion. It definitely breaks up in a very specific way, which I'm enjoying. Not a super bright pickup by any means, but it's really clear, so I really like it. I'm quite happy with this guitar. I'm really happy with the pickups. I'd say I'm probably even more happy with the pickups than the guitar itself. Overall, this is a great Les Paul and I'm excited to start playing this. I've never really played a standard a ton. I've maybe played a few shows with a standard, so I'm excited to put this into rotation and start getting its reps in. If you like how these pickups sound and want to learn more about them, we'll leave a link down below to check out the Jimmy Wallace pickups. He has not only the PAFs, but also Hot 60 Strat pickups that I really like. We did another video where we put those in a guitar. So if you haven't seen that, please check it out. But outside of that, he's got a bunch of other pickup sets. So I definitely encourage you to check his site out and check out the pickups. I hope you guys have enjoyed hanging out with us today. I had a lot of fun doing this one. Let me know your thoughts down below on this guitar, the mods here. Let us know down below what you think about the pickups. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you in another video soon. Bye. Yeah, that's it. The finish is very thick on it. I did the test. I put a dab of acetone on it and I was able to break apart the finish on the back a little bit. But